Russell.
Yeah.
And we're on.
Okay, the Jimmy Doane Show is back here Thursday. Woohoo! The 20th or 21st.
Something like that, yeah. Sometime
20th,
in October.
20th of October. Still got 20 days or whatever till the election. Explosion, right. Jimmy Doane here with Councilor Curtis. And we are about to get some stuff that's kind of interesting. It shows the limits, not the limits, the unlimits of PC correctness. But before that, let's give a 5-minute or 10-minute summary of the debate last night.
Okay.
Apparently, the big news du jour was that the Donald, when asked if he would accept the outcome of, he hedged.
Yeah, well.
And of course, the thing is, and they didn't mention it, but they, I would have just said a 2000 election.
Well, they're not even. This is like off the rails. I mean,
but this is what I'm saying is that they're accusing him of something that we've seen it happen before.
No, they're not actually. They're saying it's worse than that.
Worse than that.
Yeah, way worse than that. That's what I'm getting at. Is that what they're alleging is something like he's going to incite an insurrection or begin a revolution or something. I mean, they're trying to imply that what he's talking about is not a legal challenge, but something extra legal.
Yeah.
Unconstitutional.
In other words, all my peeps, get your guns.
Exactly. That's what on every show. And I mean NPR. I used to like NPR.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of adults like bantering back and forth about this is something you learn in civics class in 5th grade. It's like I said, there's only a couple of implications. Either he's going to do a legal challenge, which is obviously what he was implying,
right,
or he's going to lead a revolt, which is obviously not what he was implying.
No. And yet they jump on it. The prostitutes, jump on this, and they take it way, like you say, way off the rails.
Way off the. And my thought is, if this is the worst thing they can come up with out of the stuff that he said,
I thought they had already scraped the bottom of a barrel, but apparently there's another bottom.
Yeah, it's anything. I mean, but this one is, man.
Really off the, totally off the rails. And of course, again, the one of the things that I've always said is that because there's a large number of people when they did some studies and they found out there's a fair chunk of people that have already said they're not going to vote.
Yeah,
they went in one of the polls that they did or something. They said there's a bunch of people that said this is
two right here.
Yeah, right. No, there's basically they're saying that. They're not going to vote because it's two pieces of crap.
Yeah.
They're both whatever Hillary says about Donald, okay, I believe you, and whatever Donald says about Hillary, okay, I believe you. So neither one of them. So I'm not voting for either one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I always would vote on economics. That was sort of my driving issue throughout life, and
nobody's really addressed that at all.
Well, they kind of did last night.
They did it. What they did is she said she's going to work on the debt, and of course you can't work. Didn't she?
No. She said her program is going to be debt neutral.
Debt neutral.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that means if it's going to be debt neutral, that means you have to eliminate the deficit. Well, that's $600 billion out of your budget.
Or maybe she said deficit neutral.
Well, again, that doesn't solve anything because that means you still are increasing the debt.
Right. Yeah, well, that was
either
a
one
problem for her.
Either one is bad. Either one cannot be done.
Right.
I mean, mathematically, you cannot do it.
Well, her thought, that was the thing. I'm pretty sure she said debt neutral, and her concept was she was going to raise taxes on everybody above $250K.
Right.
And then spend that money wisely on investments.
As we've seen the government do so often.
Sure.
Wise money.
They are investors. They are great investors.
And the return is votes or something. I mean,
prosperity, quality of life.
Quality of life. Yeah, you can measure that. The point is, of course, as we said before, the top 1% pay 48%. Top 1% pay 30% of all the income taxes, and the top 25% pay 83%.
Okay.
So that means that the bottom 75% only are ponying up for 17% of the tax collections.
Right.
And of course, the bottom 50% are takers. As much as anything, they get earned income tax credit or some kind of whatever it is.
Well, but as we've talked about, on the last show, we sort of tangentially bounced off the surface of, which was, from my perspective, my philosophy is no taxation. That is, forget about the without representation part. You just repeal that part of the Constitution, Article 8. That says Congress shall have the power to lay and collect taxes.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, no, you go.
I was going to say, that actually is not too bad until you get to the 16th Amendment.
Well, I disagree there.
If they were to actually...
But you were advocating for the 16th yesterday. You were saying, or the other day, you were saying you'd rather have them tax people than corporations.
No, you don't understand. With if you eliminate the 16th Amendment... then everybody has to be taxed exactly the same, like 10%.
Okay.
So that I don't have a problem with that. If you tax Mr. Multi-billionaire 10% of his income, and the babysitter who made $100, you tax her $10. I don't have a problem with that. That means everybody's got skin in the game.
Yeah, but it means that somebody controls how much skin. Like some person who is more equal than the rest of us up in Washington gets to decide how much they want all of us to contribute of our
my point being
resources.
That the country survived without an income tax, except during the Civil War, which was illegal. For the first 100 and some odd years,
right?
And the reason was they didn't have the cojones to take that taxing ability to use that, because why? As soon as everybody has to pay, there are riots in the streets. Somebody made $1,000, it has to pony up 100.
I'll agree with you 100% that system
straight kick them out.
Well, you say that. From my perspective, I agree with you 100% that I'd rather have that. That is a straight, flat 10% on everything and everybody or whatever. But then there's questions of retail versus wholesale versus tariffs versus income.
Individual taxes on people, that's all.
Okay, well,
no corporations.
Right now, there's a dozen different sources or something.
Right. But I'm talking
sales taxes and land taxes.
Well, sales taxes are state.
Okay. Yeah, but
no. States can do whatever they want. No, they pretty much can. What I'm saying is that the federal. I'm talking about the 16th Amendment only applies to the feds.
Right.
Now, if the state runs in there,
I realize that they can, but from my perspective, I would have a constitutional amendment, number 27, which says, "Thou shalt not tax." Get your hands out of my pocketbook. If you look, here's the thing. My theory is taxing does good stuff, right?
No.
Oh, well then why would we accept it at all? The concept is it pays for the defense, it pays for the infrastructure, and now it pays for charity. Okay? But it does good stuff. The money goes to sick people and to defense and whatever else. Let's just argue for...
You're stipulating something that I wouldn't go to.
Okay, well, I'm saying even if it goes to good stuff, then still, then what you're saying is that there are good causes out there, and then you don't need to force people to pay for that stuff.
No, that's true.
Because good people pay for good causes.
Rotary Club.
Exactly.
All those people.
It would be easy to go around to Bill Gates and those guys. Look at Andrew Carnegie. We've talked about his, 2,900 libraries or whatever, and just all kinds of different philanthropy. There's the Bill Gates $1 billion thing that's going around. All those people are donating half of their income to some charitable sources. That's what you do when you're a big philanthropist. When you got tons of cash and you're about to die, what do? You philanthropize.
Well, one of the reasons, of course, you do that is because you know that it's going to get scraped off with the death.
Okay.
Anyway,
and whatever, it's your money, you made it, you want to spend it on good stuff.
Okay.
Ostensibly, good people do good things by definition.
Okay. let me just quote on my business card here.
What does it say?
Okay, on the back of my business card, here's the quote. I cannot undertake to lay my finger on that article of the Constitution which granted a right to Congress of expending on objects of benevolence the money of their constituents. James Madison.
Right, absolutely. So no question about it. But, okay, so, I mean, that to me is the reason why we should not have charity in the government.
Right. Oh, no question. No, that was the whole idea of that quote.
Right.
There's no charity. No, and they got away with it for a while. In fact, very famous speech by Davy Crockett in the 1830s.
Right.
Where they were getting ready to vote some widow from Tennessee.
Right.
A stipend, and he stand up there, and the quote is, you can Google it. But the quote is, he stood up in the Congress. He was a member of Congress for a while, and he said, "No,
right.
Once you do this," they voted it down. They did vote it down.
So, from my perspective, there would still be plenty of charity, be plenty of money for defense, and the people who didn't have cash, who are still trying to scrape by, could work on that still.
Right.
Well, and work on save for their retirement or whatever it is that they're doing. And so what if they're free riders?
No, yeah, I have no problem with free riders.
Yeah,
if it's, how can I put this? If it's
if something is the right thing, you're going to do it whether or not you can force other people to do it with you anyway.
Yeah, well, not around here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what the government is. This sort of this force that says, we want to do the right thing, and oh, by the way, we want you must do it also. Did you notice how Hillary phrased her tax increase? We're going to ask the wealthy.
Or I always like to contribute.
Right, so we're going to ask the wealthy to contribute more money. No. You're going to send armed guards.
You're going to send stormtroopers out to collect the money.
They're going to
I always love that when they